You know when you're watching a movie and you suddenly feel this intense anxiety, or you're just like profoundly sad for a character, but you can't really pin down why.
Right. It's not just the acting.
Exactly. I mean, sure, the acting's great, the music's there, but there's something else going on, something kind of invisible.
It's what I call the invisible hand of the director.
Mm-hmm.
We think we're just watching a story, but really we are being guided frame by frame.
Yes. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. It's like the grammar of cinema. We're using a great breakdown by filmmaker Alex Sarfati, who lays out these 12 essential shots that just make a movie feel, well, cinematic.
And what's so great about this list is that it takes you beyond just watching the plot. Yeah. You know, he went there, she did that.
Right.
And it gets you into the visual psychology of it.
Yeah.
Why is the camera there? Why that tilt? Why are we looking at a bead of sweat on someone's forehead?
Yes, that's the mission today. We want to turn you from a passive watcher into an active analyzer. So by the end of this, you won't just see a cool shot. You'll know what it's called and, more importantly, what emotional button it's designed to press.
It's really about decoding the language. And once you see the strings, you don't enjoy the puppet show less.
No, you appreciate the puppet master more.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into it. Sarfati starts big, like really big. Section 1, setting the stage. And the first one is the establishing shot.
The foundational "you are here" sign for the audience.
Yeah. He describes it as, you know, maybe a drone shot over a city or just a static shot of a house. The goal is just context.
It's so functional, but it's absolutely essential. You can't just throw people into a conversation.
No, you can't.
Because if you do, the first 10 seconds, the audience is just thinking, wait, where are they? At home, at work, on Mars.
Right. It grounds you.
It does. It's like the bookend for a scene.
It's like a chapter heading. Meanwhile, at the castle, it lets you take a breath.
A mental palate cleanser. But then we get to the wide shot, which sounds similar, but there's a really crucial difference.
Okay, help me out here. An establishing shot is wide. A wide shot is wide. What's the difference?
Okay, so think of the establishing shot as the map. The wide shot is the stage.
Ah, okay.
And Sarfati notes it's usually a wide-angle lens. And yeah, it shows the environment, but it's more about the character's relationship to that environment.
So it's not just, here's a desert, it's, here's a guy in a desert.
Exactly. And this is where the psychology gets really cool. A wide shot can do two completely opposite things.
Okay.
On the one hand, it's great for showing interactions. You know, bunch of people in a room, you see who's standing where, the whole layout.
The logistics of the scene.
Right. But on the other hand, and this is the one that always gets me, it's the loneliness shot.
The loneliness factor, yes.
You put one tiny character in a massive wide shot, and what does that scream?
Isolation. Overwhelming odds.
It's all about scale. It shows how huge the world is compared to this one person. A director wants you to feel like the hero is up against it. They don't zoom in.
They pull back.
They pull way back. They crush him with the frame. It's this instant feeling of helplessness.
That is so powerful. It's pure visual storytelling.
For sure.
Okay, so we're zooming in a little bit. Next up is the full shot.
Which is pretty much what it sounds like.
Yeah, Sarfati says it's from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet.
And the key word there, believe it or not, is feet.
Feet. Why feet? Aren't we always supposed to be looking at their face?
Well, the full shot is the master of body language. And when you cut someone off at the waist, you lose their stance.
That's true.
You can't see if they're shifting their weight, if they're pacing. How are their feet planted? Are they ready to run, or are they standing their ground?
You really don't realize how much personality is in someone's legs until you can't see them.
It's true. The full shot connects the character to the physical space they're in.
So a confident character has that wide stance. A nervous one is maybe shuffling. You need the whole body for that.
Right. It anchors them.
Okay, now we're getting into section 2, the action. And this brings us to what is, I think, my favorite name for a camera shot on this whole list.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
The cowboy shot.
The cowboy shot, yes.
Yeah.
It's a classic, an absolute classic.
It's just so good. I mean, can you imagine being on set and just yelling, "Give me the cowboy"?
Right. It's history just baked right into the terminology. It's great.
So Sarfati explains the origin, which is kind of obvious once you hear it. In Westerns, they needed to be close enough to see the actor's face, their eyes, but
they had to keep the gun holster in the frame.
of course, you can't cut at the waist if the whole point of the scene is the six-shooter on their hip.
So the frame goes from about mid-thigh up to the head, It perfectly frames the tools of the trade.
But what I found so interesting is that people still use this shot all the time, even in movies with no horses, no saloons.
Constantly. It just implies readiness. It's a power stance. Even without a gun. Framing them that way gives a sense of action. It's a heroic frame.
So next time I see a superhero land after a big jump, I should check the framing.
I'd bet money it's a cowboy shot. It's the I'm about to do something shot.
All right, moving in even closer. The workhorse. The shot you see maybe half the time in any movie. The medium shot.
The standard. Waist up.
Sarfati calls it the go-to for action or dialogue. But why this one? Why is this the default?
Because it's sort of how we see the world in a normal conversation. The wide shot is about where we are. The medium shot is about what we're doing.
It's the coffee shop conversation distance.
Exactly. If I'm sitting across from you at a table, I'm seeing you from the waist up. It's close enough to feel connected, but not, invasive. It's the neutral zone.
That makes perfect sense. It's comfortable.
It focuses your attention on their upper body, their face, but you still have some context. It's just efficient.
And speaking of efficiencies, Arfati mentioned something he found pretty funny. The numbers game shots.
Ah, yes. The 2-shot, the 3-shot.
He said he was baffled by this for a while, thinking it must be some complex theory, but it's just counting.
Sometimes film school is just basic math. A 2-shot has 2 people. A 3-shot has 3.
It's brilliant. What should we call this shot with 3 people? A 3-shot. Perfect. Print it.
But there is a reason for it. It tells the editor what's needed. I need to the 2-shot means I need to see the dynamic between these 2 characters at the same time.
Okay, so we've set the stage, seen the action. Now, section 3. We're getting intimate, dialogue, and details.
This is where the director really starts to control your empathy. We're moving from observing to feeling.
And it kicks off with the OTS, the over-the-shoulder.
A staple. You cannot watch a drama without this shot.
So just to be clear, visually, what are we looking at here?
Okay, so the camera is behind one person, looking past their shoulder, which is usually a little blurry in the foreground, at the other person's face.
Sarfati says this is his favorite way to shoot a conversation, but why? Why block part of the screen with a blurry shoulder?
Well, it's about depth and placement. It makes the frame more interesting than just a floating head, but I think the psychological part is what's key. It puts you, the viewer, in the conversation.
You feel like you're standing right there with them.
Exactly. You're seeing what the listener is seeing. It connects the 2 characters. If you just cut between 2 separate shots of their faces, they can feel isolated. The OTS tethers them together in the same space.
It feels like a real exchange. Okay, but what if the conversation gets serious? Sarfati says we then move to the medium close-up.
Framed from about the bottom of the chest up.
How is that so different from the medium shot? It's just a few inches.
It's a few inches, but the emotional shift is huge. The medium shot is for general dialogue. The medium close-up forces you to pay attention to the emotion in the dialogue.
It just cuts out all the distractions.
You lose the arms, the background goes softer. You're focused now on the face, the chest. You can see their breathing change, the tension in their neck. And then we go all in, the close-up.
Chin to the top of the head. Sarfati makes a technical point here about using longer lenses, like an 85 millimeter. Why does that matter to us, the audience?
It matters because of what it does to the background. A longer lens basically obliterates the depth of field. It melts the background away into a blur.
So the character is completely isolated.
The world is gone. There's no room, no car, no city. There is only this face.
This is for the single tear rolling down a cheek, the tiny twitch of a lip.
Right. Or, as Arfati notes, it can be for details, too. A close-up on a hand, a key, a clue. It's the director basically grabbing you by the head and saying, look at this, this matters.
And if they really want you to look, we get the extreme close-up.
Just the eyes, or the nose and eyes.
So intense.
Incredibly. We're not in a room anymore. We're inside their head.
It's just an amazing progression when you think about it. You start with a person as a tiny speck, and you end with their eye filling the entire screen. It's like a funnel for your attention.
A funnel is the perfect word for it. You're just tightening the screws with every shot choice.
But, okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Sometimes the director doesn't just want to show you something. They want to mess with your head.
The subconscious manipulation. The dark arts of cinematography.
Exactly. This brings us to our last section, psychology and perspective. Let's start with POV.
Point of view. The camera literally becomes the character's eyes.
Sarfati says it's a first-person view of what they're going through.
It's the ultimate empathy machine. Instead of watching someone run from a monster, you are running from the monster. You see your own hands shaking as you try to open the door. It's visceral.
Totally. But this one is unsettling in a completely different way. The Dutch angle.
Ah, the Dutch angle. The universal sign for something is wrong.
So visually, this is just tilting the camera, right?
Yeah. The horizon is no longer horizontal, and our brains hate that.
Sarfati calls the feeling weird or uncomfortable.
Because we crave balance. When the world is tilted, we feel disoriented. It's a signal that something is off, that things are about to go very, very south.
You see it all the time in horror movies or thrillers.
Or to show someone is drunk or confused. If that camera tilts, your subconscious brain goes on high alert. Danger. Instability.
It's a visual warning sign. Things are about to get weird.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of power dynamics, we have to talk about high versus low angles. This feels like the most direct manipulation of all. Let's start with the low angle.
Camera looks up at the subject.
And the effect is pretty immediate.
Dominance, power. You are literally looking up to them. Makes them look huge, imposing. It's the classic hero shot or the villain shot.
But Sarfati pointed out a nuance I loved, using Harry Potter as an example.
Yes, this is a great point. It's not always about power. If the shot is wide and you can see a grand background, looking up can create a sense of wonder.
Like Harry looking up at Hogwarts for the first time.
Exactly. You're small, but in an awestruck way, not a weak way. You're looking up at majesty.
Okay, so then we flip it. The high angle, camera looking down.
And if looking up is power, looking down is
Weakness, vulnerability.
It physically minimizes them in the frame. It presses them down. Sarfati says it makes a character look sad, weak, depressed.
And he mentioned he uses this in his own documentary work.
Yeah, that was such a fascinating insight. He said he uses high angles when he's about to ask an intrusive question.
That is so sneaky.
It is, but it makes sense. If you want someone to be vulnerable, you frame them in a way that subconsciously promotes vulnerability.
It's manipulative, but I guess it's effective.
That's filmmaking. Emotional engineering.
So to wrap this all up, we've gone from a drone shot of a city,
Through the social dance of the two-shot and the cowboy shot,
zoomed all the way in for the emotional punch of an extreme close-up.
and then tilted the entire world on its side just to make us feel weird.
It really does change how you see a movie, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It stops feeling like magic and starts looking like a blueprint. But for me, that makes it even more impressive.
I agree. So for you listening, here's the takeaway. The next time you watch something, just try to spot one of these.
Look for the Dutch angle. It's the easiest to spot because it feels so wrong. When it tilts, just ask, okay, what just went wrong here?
Or look for that cowboy shot, even if it's not a Western. See if they're framing the hero like a gunslinger about to draw.
And just pay attention to the angles. When that villain is giving a big speech, are you looking up at them? Is that why they feel so powerful?
It's a whole new layer to appreciate.
And it leaves you with a really provocative thought to chew on. How much of your emotional reaction to a scene is the performance, and how much is just geometry?
Was that actor really that intimidating, or was the camera just 6 inches off the ground?